Thank you, Councillor Corley. I think it is important to note that a government which only a week or so ago said it would not discuss pay with the nursing trade unions has been forced into a significant climb down. The reality was the government never had any other choice given the prospect of a 3-day strike in a health service already in crisis and the tremendous militancy of the nurses on the picket lines, shown again in the massive demonstration last Saturday, organised in only 4 days. That was just incredible, that the response, up to 45,000 people out in the streets of nurses and the public. And I have to maybe note here as well that RT played it down big time, saying tens of thousands. It was surely much more than that. And also the widespread public support for the nurses. I note that the INMO executive believe they have made progress in the Labour Court talks, but I believe there could be opposition to these proposals when the ballots take place. While the deal is somewhat complex, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a midwife, I don't understand life in the wards or in the A&E, but it seems the average pay increase will be in the region of $1,200 to $2,500 a year, well short of the nurses' equal pay claim of $7,000 a year. I know the deal does contain a review next year to revisit this issue. I think maybe that would be enough for the nurses to accept. I don't know. I understand there is ongoing negotiations at the moment as well. Does the recommendation meaningfully resolve the recruitment and retention crisis? Indeed, it could be the case that many nurses, disappointed by the government response to their situation, may say enough is enough and head abroad. Will it be enough to encourage the nurses who stood in solidarity with the pickets abroad to come home? I don't know. We'll have to see in relation to that. Does it deal with the dire patient safety and nurses' safety in our hospitals? I don't know, but I know the nurses and midwives will go through this recommendation with a fine-tooth comb, and whatever decision they make, I will fully support. It is symptomatic of the mess in the health service that the government makes such a hue and cry about the 35 million cost of these proposals, while 114 million is paid out for agency staff in nurses and midwives and 53 million on psychiatric nursing agency staff. I think it is important to note that the PNA are still in negotiations pending reconvene of the Labour Court on Friday. Finally, the House should note that there will be a strike in the health service this Friday of up to 500 ambulance staff by the National Ambulance Service Representative Association, which is a branch of the PNA, who are taking action in pursuit of a claim for union recognition. The stance of the HSE, the Department and the Minister in making a mockery of the right to join and be represented by a union of your choice. The position of SIP2 and Forza in blocking these workers' rights to be represented by NASRA is deeply, deeply regrettable. I will make reference to a letter from Peter Hughes that came in today to all TDs, where he said that the HSE has ignored the clear indication from the Minister of Health in the Dáil that he wanted this issue dealt with by negotiation rather than confrontation. Again, we're in confrontation. He explains the HSE has also ignored 2 invitations to the WRC to work a resolution and refused to enter talks with the PNA to agree contingencies for providing essential ambulance cover during the strike. He goes on to say, I would therefore appeal to you as an Oireachtas member to demand that the HSE, even at this late stage, through the WRC, resolve the unnecessary dispute that has been forced on frontline ambulance personnel. The Minister should instruct the HSE to go into these negotiations and accept the invitation of the WRC, as have the PNA agreed to do.
Thank you, Deputy